Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Planet Lizzdom. No joke, it is April Fool's, but we are here to entertain you tonight. I hope you guys are doing well. Kind of a crazy day. I don't know about the rest of you, but it's been very adventurous. I won't even get into all the craziness that's been happening, but I am really excited that we can make this show happen again for you guys. I know there's all kinds of craziness going on in the world, and we don't know if we're coming or going. I'm trying to play music and it's way too loud, and it is what it is. I'm really happy to see you guys tonight. For those of you who've never joined us, Planet Lizzdom is really a place and an event for artists, creators, entertainers, and entrepreneurs just like yourself who, we're in the middle of this shit. We're surviving, but there's also, a lot of us who are thriving. And I'm really here to focus on that and show you guys that, it is possible to adapt and it's possible to totally shine right now. And I'm so excited to introduce my next guest to you guys. I love them to death. They're one of my favorite people in this world. They're two of three amazing fellas who are in a great band called the Electric Dead. And I had them actually on our Crap Nation Halloweeny streamy back in October. And I'm so happy to bring them back to you guys again. So I really want to introduce to you guys, again, to my favorite people, Kisho and Dickie from the Electric Dead. Welcome, guys. How are you?
How's it going?
Good. I'm so happy to have you on. How's it going?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Here, I just want to make sure my music's not too loud. I'd rather have your music really loud. Oh, how's it going?
It's going. It's living the dream every day. Every day is a gift,
Did you guys get to leave the house today?
Yes, we did. Yes.
I did not.
I did.
Well, I mean, I'm in a weird situation right now. The place we're at right now is my house. It's under renovations. It's completely a chaos zone. So I came here to do my work today. Normally I'd be at my girlfriend's house, but we got two big dogs there. And sometimes when I'm in the Zoom meetings and whatnot during the day, those dogs are, they do their own thing.
Oh my gosh. I can well imagine, have you actually had it? I have to ask this because for everybody who has to engage in virtual meetings, usually on Zoom, if you have a pet of any kind, usually they show up in the meeting. Have you had any experiences like that?
Every day.
I've had some. At my job, I am a supervisor of I got a team of about 14 people. And we meet remotely often. And at the beginning of the pandemic, when we started doing these Zoom meetings or whatever, I don't think people quite understood that they were on camera. And I am not exaggerating when I say that I have seen a bare vagina, I have seen a penis, and I've seen a naked child. It was fucked up. That was real true shit. Like, no joke. I'm like, that person put her phone down to do something, and she wasn't wearing pants in her vagina. It was impressive.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I have not had that experience.
I can honestly say for every single Zoom meeting I've ever been at, I have been wearing pants of some sort. I haven't been that wanton.
Well, let it be known, world, make sure you're wearing pants on Zoom.
No shit.
I kind of want to play fast and loose now for the next one. Be like, hey, from here up, this is me. From here down, you don't know.
I may not be wearing pants right now. You have no idea.
You know what? This is absolutely true. I kind of hope that you are, but I kind of hope they're really mismatching, like maybe SpongeBob SquarePants style, or not your typical, cool wear. Oh, that's so funny. I have to say this time last year, I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I didn't know what Zoom was. I had no idea. Pre-lockdown, I was kind of just getting into computers and online streaming. And now it just seems like it's just one run of the mill, like using the phone.
Yeah, I've been in IT for over 20 years, and Zoom was a brand new thing for me last year as well. I mean, I was pretty much used to face-to-face service for my entire IT career. And then things obviously changed, and we were now doing things very remotely, whether it be remote meetings or actually logging into people's computers remotely to do work.
Of course.
So yeah, we weren't sending guys on site anymore. Yeah, it was a whole different world.
Wow. Yeah, it's the first time I ever did a share screen with a tech, actually, this is my tech here, guys. I want to brag for a second. Greg Watson is my hero and my guru. He is the one who's taught me everything that I know, and he has shared my screen more times than most guys have shared my bed. Thank you. Though the first time I did that, I was like, what the hell? You're in my computer. What are you doing? This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's power.
Getting used from the other perspective, getting used to actually going into somebody's computer.
Make sure that we're getting a good connection because my internet's being a little bit feisty today. So I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me, that everything's okay.
Yeah, we hear you. You had a little bit of a video glitch there, but I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, computers, man. I didn't know about internet speed before this, and I kind of have to deal with that tomorrow with my internet service provider. Things like that. Like, who knew?
I just got brand new internet installed yesterday.
Oh,
shout out to Vaccine Computers in St. Catharines, Ontario.
Oh, very cool.
Got to support local.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Do you find now that, we are we're still technically kind of locked in, I don't know what's happening as of tomorrow, but do you find that you're more adamant to support local business?
I always have been, really. Like, I've been pretty conscious of where I put my money, but even more so now. I think for me, unfortunately, it's the opposite experience. Being locked down is I've become a little bit of an Amazon nut, right? You know what I mean? And I fucking hate saying that out loud, but I gotta, I come home from work and there's something from Amazon on my porch every other day, and I feel cool about it because, like normally I would go buy a lot of stuff, locally or whatever, but it's just, it's just fucked up.
It's too easy. You're not alone in that. I have something that was waiting for me when I got home, and I'm just like, oh, yeah. I don't even remember what I ordered.
Yeah, I'm going to come clean on the Amazon thing as well because, I've ordered a ton of stuff getting ready for the house to get finished, a lot of stuff getting ready for our recording studio to get finished up. But the reason behind that is that there really wasn't anywhere to buy that stuff.
Yeah.
If there were local stores to grab that kind of stuff, I would absolutely pay the extra money and support it. But when I talk about support local, like I will go to local restaurants before fast food, unless I'm obviously in a hurry and I just need to grab something to fill the void. But that food just makes me feel like shit anyway. Supporting local restaurants through takeout, or when we could dine in, with limited numbers, I would go, and him and I would always go to a local pub and grab a beer. Can't do that now because we're back in lockdown 3.
Not yet. Not yet. I'm going out for lunch tomorrow. I'm going out for dinner tomorrow night, and then we're fucking locked down.
I know it's hard. It's really hard. It's I'm so torn with that too, because I do love to support local, and I love to, I'm very happy to say I have a lot of friends who have a lot of different businesses locally, from tattoo artists to pub owners, restaurant owners, hairstylists, you name it. And it's like, I want to support each and every single one of them, but there are limitations sometimes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is where I really, feel Planet Lizzdom is an important show, because it talks about adaptability and how you can adapt your business to still survive. I know as musicians, we were talking pre-show how you're still working on finishing your album, and you're, upgrading your studio and that sort of thing. As a band, you were saying that you have performed one virtual show so far.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was awesome, but at the same time, it was strange.
Yeah.
We're so used to feeding off of a live crowd. And now they did have a limited audience come in. I think that was
15 people, 10 or 15 people.
Yeah, that was just
December.
That was just before lockdown 2.0.
Okay.
So they had 15 people were able to come in, but the way the space was set up is it was a very long room, and the stage was actually facing a wall.
Yeah.
So if like Sam, our singer, if like where he's at from his mic position, or actually me too, because we're kind of in line, where our mic position is at, we were only about 5-6 feet away from a wall, and all of the people watching were actually to stage right.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit strange. but it was really cool to see people and actually, have some applause and that sort of thing, because that kind of made it feel a little bit more live. But it's hard to engage a camera, as a musician, unless I'm like hamming it up for a music video. It just felt really, really strange.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like, don't get me wrong, Christy put on a really good show there. It was at the Upper Space in Niagara Falls, and she has a really, really cool thing going on there. Actually, I think they're still trying to stay running. They got a GoFundMe or something like that going on. Check it out if you can. The place is called the Upper Space.
Here, let's advertise it for them right now. I'm going to make a banner for you. It's the Upper Space.
Yeah, in Niagara Falls, Ontario.
.ca, I guess.
I don't know about a web address. I don't know what.
If you search Upper Space on Facebook, it'll come up.
Yeah.
It's funny when we played that show, though. One of the things that kind of struck me as humorous, we were so stoked to play, and it's funny because all the things that musicians take for granted when they're playing shows, often things they bitch about, like, oh, holy fuck, I got to lug my gear out, I got to fucking bring it up these stairs, I got to set my drums up, I got to blah 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 blah. It was just very cathartic to be able to do that again. I was like, oh yeah, right on. I got to lug I'm like, 2 sets of stairs, fucking right, man. You're just dragging your shit up, and it was good. But it just goes to show you how much we missed it, and we still miss it, and we can't wait to get back out there.
Absolutely.
I was just coming off of my Achilles tendon tear, and it was healing up. So I had these guys roadie my gear up those stairs. Yeah. So my bass rig was carried up for me, which was awesome.
Amazing. I was actually just going to ask you about that, because this time last year you'd had that crazy injury,
Yeah, it's I can walk fine, and I can actually start sort of jump now again. So I'll be back on that skateboard in no time.
Oh, that's really good. Okay. Well, hey, you know what? Every little bit of good news right now is so important, I know there's a lot of people in bands watching, guys, if you have any questions for Dickie and Kisho, hit us up with some comments, because, this is really for you guys. It's about you guys, and it's a great way to kind of compare notes, talk about stories. It's true that, the whole element of digging and just the live performance element, and the before show, like the pre-show, during the after show, all the different adventures that can happen through that, you do kind of miss the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
Even those winter load-ins are still, it's part of it.
Yeah. I hated them before, but I would do it 100 times over now.
Absolutely. Do you guys think you would ever perform remotely separately? Like, say, for example, each of you is in a different space. I know that sometimes there's a little bit of lag with online streaming. Do you think you would ever try that?
Well, I did try an experiment with Sam, our singer guitar player, trying to get Jam Kazam running. He lives out a little bit more of a rural area of St. Catharines, so his internet's not great out there. So we could never really sync up properly. For that kind of thing, he'd either have to be in a better spot for that, or maybe him and I here and Dickie at his place. But yeah, we could do it. It's just we've got a jam spot here, so as long as none of us have been exposed, and obviously trying to get our rehearsals going again has been like pulling teeth, because he got exposed and Sam got exposed, and like we had to take 2-week breaks just in case. And nobody ended up getting COVID, but we were always just being careful that nobody was going to bring it into the jam spot.
No, and of course, thank you for your your diligence with that, because it's true. It just takes one little slip, and all of a sudden, it's total chaos. I just recently went through that with work as well, where I called in with a migraine, and the protocol was that I had to stay home, get a COVID test, and then once I was cleared, wait another 3 days before I returned. So it was about 8 days in total that I was off before I could return. But I'm happy to do it, because now I know for sure I don't have COVID, and I'm not going to spread it.
Yeah, no, it's got to follow the protocols and make sure everybody's safe. I know people are getting sick of it. Tired of wearing the masks and all that, but just do it for your neighbor, do it for your community, if anything.
Absolutely. And this is where I like to kind of bring up the whole topic of, losses versus wins. At this time last year, what were you guys up to, and what kind of stopped for you? right around March, April.
Yeah. Well, we were canceling shows. That was the first. I think we had 5 or 6 lined up in like getting into like between like the last show we played was actually the Crap Nation 15 party in
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Right.
we did that one. That was the last show we played before before the lockdown, because the next one we had coming up was Amanda Shills' book release party. She featured us in one of her books, Sofa City Sounds Volume 2, I believe. And we were supposed to play her launch party for that, and that was just after the lockdown started. So that was the first one canceled. And we were all like, okay, well, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and we just kept waiting. And then as the curve kept going up and it wasn't flattening, we were just cancel after cancel.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, that must have, I can only imagine how frustrating and devastating that was to hear,
I think for me, the one thing that really bothered me the most about it was like we finished this record, like it's done, we finished it, right? By the time COVID hit, we had pretty much finished recording it, everything was great, and we had kind of mulled over like how the fuck are we going to release this thing? Do we wait until this is over? What do we do? So we've been sitting on this new material for the better part of over a year now, and we're trying to figure out the best way to kind of get it out to you guys, and it's been a long time.
That was the one thing too. We had most of the tracking done, but there were still a few songs we needed vocals done on, and that was when everything was a hard lock, and we didn't know so Sam didn't come over to finish the vocals for 3 songs, and then as things kind of loosened up in the summer, we had him come and finish those 3 songs, and then I started mixing. And about a few weeks after that, I broke my wrist and snapped my Achilles tendon, so I wasn't doing shit for a few more months. So the way it's sitting now is there's still a couple songs that are still left that have to be finished mixing.
Yeah.
I haven't been in a super rush because like Dickie was saying, like we don't know how to support this without playing shows. So and we were going to invest in vinyl. Like, we're going to spend some good money getting a nice record done and like doing it proper. And to do all of that, to not sell it, or to not have an avenue to sell it that we're familiar with. Like, I mean, obviously we can sell it online, but that the online marketing stuff is not something that I'm used to. I'm used to hustling it at shows.
Right.
So not having that venue to do that, to me, is it's frightening to spend all that money to end up sitting on boxes of vinyl. Right. So we're kind of hoping that maybe with the vaccines now and things, people starting to get shots, maybe by the fall, we might be able to have our annual Halloween show if we're lucky.
I was going to say, we're cautiously optimistic that we might have a live audience for a Halloween show this year.
Yeah.
Oh man, I truly hope that happens for you guys. That would be so wicked.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, in the past year, obviously with all of that happening, have there been any creative surprises for you guys that you've experienced, or any sort of things that are on the horizon that you're looking at?
Honestly, for me, creatively, COVID has kind of just left me blank. I'm really, really like gung ho to start playing. It's when I get in a room with the guys to start jamming stuff, that's when I start getting ideas. I used to be a solo music writer. I do a lot of drum programming, electronic stuff years and years ago. That kind of fell by the wayside. I kind of got bored with it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play rock and roll, and that's kind of how we ended up Electric Dead. And it was actually Sam's baby. He kind of came up with the concept, and Dickie and I joined in on that. But that was just like, let's play rock and roll. Let's have fun as a live band. And it's just the energy of a bunch of guys in a room that gets me going now. I don't really want to sit there and just plunk around on shit anymore. It's more about just getting energy from each other.
I think for we finished this record kind of right before COVID hit, right? So we were, and we really took our time with this record. We wrote it properly. We fucking rehearsed the shit out of it. We went in the studio, we tweaked, we did all the shit. And that was our creative moment, was like the months leading up to this pandemic. So we've got this record ready. The pandemic hits. Now I know you've heard a lot about all these other bands have taken the opportunity to kind of hunker down and write more music and this, that, and the other. I think we went the opposite direction, in the sense that we got this record that's ready. Let's sit on it. Let's figure it out. And like me and Kisho kind of took care of some personal shit. I actually wound up purchasing a house, and we moved into a house, and we kind of did that shit. My brother here, he's renovated his house, this, that, and the other, and Sam has been off doing. Sam has probably been the most like musically creative during all this, because he's been just doing his own thing as well. But I think just having a record in the can for us was like, let's just kind of just chill and sort of refocus, and when we can get back to it, we can really push and kind of move forward from there.
Well, and good for you, because there is something very valuable about a reset like that, in terms of your home life and your foundation. You're working on your homes. When are you going to have the time or opportunity to do that again?
Yeah, for sure.
How fortunate that you. Sorry, Kisho, I didn't hear you.
We'll have time in lockdown 4.0.
Exactly. Oh my God, we're gonna have like better homes and gardens like by the time we come out of this, right? But I mean, in a sense, how lucky that you did finish this wonderful album, for the most part, and that you can actually focus on other elements of your life that you wouldn't normally get to. I think the balance of that is important, and in some respects, I think it's very, very lovely that you've been able to do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's been, like I really miss, like for me personally, I really missed, playing and we're getting back to rehearsing now, which is great, but there has been a sense of like, just sort of, catching my sea legs and letting the compass kind of reset and sort of just chill out and let this year pass. But I will tell you, and I'll speak for the band when I say this, we're fucking done now. Let's get back to this bullshit. Like, come on. Enough is enough.
Oh man, I feel you. I really feel you on that. It's just like,
stand behind plexiglass and yell at you.
Yeah, shit, son of a bitch, man.
Like, I want to be in front of you guys, in front of the speakers where I can't hear. My hair's flying in back because the sound is so loud. That for 3 days, I'm like, what? I was at the electric dead. I don't know what's going on.
We miss our friends too, man. Like, we miss, there's quite a few bands that we share the stage with quite often, and we miss all of them, and it's going to be amazing to be able to just have a beer with everybody and then just get on stage again and play a show,
Oh my God. I don't know about you guys, but I will have a 3-day hangover at least from that.
Yeah.
It will probably be a 3-day party first, and then a 3-day hangover.
Yeah.
And then 2 days to recover with hair of the dog, and then another 3-day party.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Dickie was saying, like even like we've got a lot of friends who are in bands that we play with, but there's a lot of people who are our fans who are just equally as good friends as well that we haven't seen in over a year. And especially the Toronto folks that we haven't seen in so long. And folks from Niagara, like Niagara Falls, the Niagara Falls people that come to our shows, and I'll see people from St. Catharines kind of out and about just because I go about my day-to-day grocery shopping and whatnot, and I'll see people, but it's more about is that you behind the mask? I can't tell.
Right?
So it'll be that. It's huge. Like the social aspect of it is massive as well. Like I really, really miss that.
No, it's true. It's like, can I recognize you, with just your eyes, and you guys are really super theatrical. When you're performing, you look completely otherworldly. For those of you who've never seen the Electric Dead, they're fantastic. When we do have live shows again, I highly recommend them. They are outstanding musicians and outstanding performers. Oh my God. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. Please remind me, what is your website again? Is it theelectricdead.com?
Theelectricdead.com, and there's that takes you to just like a splash page with links to our Facebook and our Bandcamp page, and I think our Instagram might be on there too. I don't really remember. I never visited.
I'm going to take this opportunity real quick just to point out. I don't remember what the exact number is, but I was going to mention it to Kisho tonight. I think we're at like 993 likes or follows on Facebook. I want to hit that fucking 1,000 mark. Let's do it tonight. 1,000,
guys.
Do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Seriously, I have goosebumps right now. I'm really excited for you guys. Come on, guys. Go like the Electric Dead right now. Do it. Do it. Do it.
We're close.
Yeah, Facebook.com/The Electric Dead.
All right. Perfect. Well, guys, I think it's really important that you're still doing it. You're still, killing it every day. I love that, I can put on your CD, and I know I play a CD. How old school am I, eh? I love playing your first album, and it's just like, I was talking about it back in October, but I love how classically trained you guys are, and how you do an homage to Robert Johnson. I think that's really cool that I keep going back to that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the whole vibe the band was built around. That was Sam's vision from the get-go, was jamming off the Robert Johnson sort of mythos, so to say.
Which I love. Thank you, Monica. Monica went and liked the Electric. Come on, guys, 7 more to go. Let's do this. 7 more. But that's something that I really love about you guys. Your love of music really comes across. It's palpable. When you're listening to that first album, there is a progression, and some parts are really, really moody. Some parts are really, really powerful. And there's this huge range of musical emotion, and again, that's the music nerd in me. I really love you guys for that. And I really, I think I will be a forever fan because of that. Yeah. Good, we're at 6 now. All right, there we go. My camera goes backwards, so I forget exactly how I'm doing things. And this is what brings me up to what's next. I know you guys are finalizing your album, and you want to get back to performing. What is? Because I always talk about AC/DC. Before COVID, during COVID, after COVID. What is on your bucket list? Like, what do you really, really, really want to do in the future? Like, what are you kind of looking down the road at? 3 or 4 years from now, even to work towards?
Well, we had talked about while we were kind of working through figuring out the second album, we were going to start jamming some covers, just to kind of keep things fresh. But like I was saying before, getting together to actually jam was quite challenging for quite a while. So that's more than likely on the horizon. We're going to jam some covers and possibly release an album of all covers that we were influenced by. It's right now my main focus is getting the studio put back together. When I renovated my house, I tore the walls out. I was able to run the wiring on everything all through the walls from the jam spot to the upper floor. So I've got full isolation. You can actually do things properly. So it'll just be a matter of setting the microphones up and hitting record, and we can record anytime we want. So that's a big goal of mine, is being able to just, when the 3 of us are playing, I can be rolling, and we'll just capture every moment and the best ones.
That's amazing. That's something that I've noticed a lot of people are doing, myself included. We are building studios in our own home and making an environment where we can be creative at a moment's notice.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Which I think is just the coolest thing ever. Like, how high tech are we now?
Yeah. Also, I want to get back into recording other bands again as well. I mean, I've done some work with other bands in the past, so and I was working with far less back then as far as equipment goes. I'll be more up to more current technology now with what I've got getting set up. So being able to have a band come in here, I'll be able to record them live off the floor, which will be fantastic.
Oh my God, that's so wicked. Please keep me posted on all of that. I'm a huge believer that teamwork makes the dream work. And, I'm all about making connections and connecting people because, at the end of the day, we all rise together, right? So, whenever I see somebody working really, really hard for what they want, I want to help them. And I love you guys for that, because I know it's not easy to be creative, especially in this day and age. Pre-COVID, it wasn't easy, and during, it's not, and afterwards, it'll still be a challenge. But I'm up for the challenge if you guys are up for the challenge.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of challenge, this is something I want to introduce because I was just on a really amazing show a couple of weeks ago with Crush, Kill, Destroy. I'll be having them in the hot seat soon. And they did something that I thought was really cool, and it was a contest. I fucking love contests. Why? Because I love to win free shit. So I need your help, guys. And don't say anything, but I want you to kind of look at who I'm pulling up. And the first person to write in the comments who the band is going to get a free copy of Crap Nation. So don't yell it out because I know you guys will know, but who here watching right now can tell me who this band is? Because I used them as an advertisement last year for our last show with you guys, actually. And they're one of the coolest bands ever. They're so much fun, but I don't know if anybody's going to know who they are. Let's see. Does anybody know? Maybe that's too obscure. Do you think I should give them a chance and try someone else? Here, I'll give you guys one more chance to know who this is. The first person to write it in the comments section is going to get a free copy of Crap Nation, and I will mail it to them. But everybody's so shy. They're like, I don't know. I love obscure music. What can I say? I'm going to give everybody one more chance. You get 1 out of 3 tries. If you can tell me who this is, again, the first person in the comments will get a free copy of Crap Nation. All right. I see a comment. Perfect. Monica, Nina Hagen. There we go. Monica DeSavois, you are the winner. So I will send you a free copy of not Nina Hagen, Crap Nation. There we go. That's my contest. That's the first contest I've ever done. So they will get bigger and better as we go forward. But I wanted to offer a little something this week, you know?
We'll mail you a CD up there you can give away.
I would love that. Thank you so much. And again, as soon as you're... Oh, sorry, we cut out for a second. Repeat that.
Yeah, shoot me your postal address when we get finished, and then I'll just mail one up to you.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you so much, guys. And as well, when your album comes out, let me know, and I will promote the heck out of it. Absolutely. You know I love to do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's wicked.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna be a total mark and wear your T-shirt tonight, but it's in the laundry, and it needs to be washed so bad that I just couldn't. It was too offensive. When it's just like you smell so bad, you're offending yourself. You're like, I can't do this. Oh, Monica says thank you. You're welcome. Now, I don't know. Is there anything that you guys want to touch on that we haven't talked about?
Well, I know that you did the artwork at Disgraceland.
Yes.
That was a big deal with them closing as part of this pandemic. And just seeing some of these smaller independent restaurants and clubs, like we don't know where we're going to end up playing after all this is done. Seeing places like that close because of landlords who are being total assholes and greedy pricks and, squeezing people for more than they can even possibly think of affording right now.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of stuff is really, really upsetting. And as musicians looking for the future and where things are going to happen, we're all going to be competing for some of the bigger spaces because they're the only ones that could have weathered the storm. Like, I don't understand how, we're supposed to keep a scene going, like with all of these places losing support and not having government support and the landlords being all fucked and that sort of thing. So that's just kind of a thing I wanted to mention because I know you were really bummed out about the Disgraceland thing as well.
I really was. And it was the sort of thing where, as an artist, I really kind of had to learn that once you put it out into the world, into the universe, you kind of have to let it go. Yes, I worked on that mural for 7 months, and yes, my heart and soul went into it. But at the end of the day, it is a public space, and I kind of had to just, for lack of a better term, cut emotional ties with it at one point. Although the last day there was really, really hard because we were taking photos. But I did have a really cool humanizing moment, actually. We had gone into Disgraceland while they were moving out a lot of their furniture and things like that. And we had the good fortune to bring in a photographer, and we were downstairs at the mural starting to take pictures. And the landlord bustled down. He's like, what is this? What's going on? Who are you? What's happening? And in that moment, I chose kindness over anger. And I immediately introduced myself to him and I said, my name is Lizzdom. I worked on this mural for 7 months and we're just taking we're taking a few pictures before we have to let it go. And thank you very much for letting us be here today. And before he could even say anything, I said, hey, do you like music? And he's like, yeah, I love music. I'm like, you heard of the Ramones? He's like, yeah, I love the Ramones. And I immediately started showing him the Ramones part of the mural. And I started kind of walking him through every single element of it. And he's like, wow, you really did a lot of work. I'm like, yeah, 7 months of my life. So thank you so much for letting us photograph that. And he immediately softened a little bit because I think he realized that, his hard ass bottom line was affecting a lot of people, not just the owner, and to his credit, he let me be for the hour and a half I was there. He let me do Facebook Live. And by the end of it, he actually asked, is that nice lady downstairs still taking photos of her mural? Which was kind of a nice victory in the end. Yes, it's really shitty that he, kicked out the owner, and he had to leave that space. But I like to think that maybe for 1 second, I was able to speak to his humanity just a little bit, I don't know. It's up for debate.
That's pretty sweet.
You're a bigger human than I.
Yeah.
It was not easy, let me tell you. I still have some feelings about it, but, I firmly believe that, the owner, he will get back on his feet. What incarnation he has of a bar next, I don't know. But, what's happened has happened. And, I absolutely wish him the best of luck and, want him to land on his feet. And hopefully in the future, he will have another space again where he can have live bands.
See,
at which point.
I think, people that know me well would say that I'm not a very optimistic person by nature. I tend to look on the pessimistic side of a lot of things, and I think that's fair. However, this pandemic has really fucked a lot of shit up, and I think that in terms of like our scene, like the music scene, the indie music scene and shit, I think that this is like an opportunity for us to. We talked about, how like, me and Kisho had the ability to kind of reset and retool and this, that, and the other. I think it's an opportunity for the industry itself, for our independent industry itself to really hit the reset button. And I'm really hopeful that when we come back to live music, to local live music, that a lot of people who didn't fucking understand how much they missed it come back to it. Because you know what, like, the musicians in the scene, we've known forever how important local independent music is, and it gets taken advantage of constantly. And I just think that this last 13 months has probably shown a lot of people, holy fuck, like I missed that. So yeah. I have a little bit of optimism that it's gonna be a struggle getting back, but I think you're gonna see a lot of cool shit happen as we move forward from this, and we're excited to be a part of that. I think it's going to be fantastic, right?
Absolutely. And I think you're absolutely right. We will reach a golden age again, and things may be very different. The face of live entertainment may change drastically, where people who couldn't have come to a live show in the past might be able to actually watch it live, from the venue. With all of this online streaming, why would we let go of that technology and that skill? Come see the live show for this much, come get a virtual ticket.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I found this pandemic has really put a lot of things on its ear in terms of, what's available to people, people who in the past had mobility issues or, immunocompromised issues where they even pre-COVID couldn't go out all the time. Now all of a sudden they have a front row seat and it's safe for them, and they can still engage and enjoy.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to incorporate the live stream into the live shows again, or continuing after all of this for sure, because I don't think that part of it is going to go away, and I don't think that it should go away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm actually very excited about how that is going to look. This really is kind of the Wild West for entertainment at the moment. The face of music, art, acting, film, television, all of it it's changing very rapidly. And, you know, I'm really happy to say that it's the creators who really are kind of holding the reins right now. You know, the fact that yes, you can turn on the TV and watch Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything at any moment is exciting, but at some point, it becomes a bit contrived and a bit boring, and you kind of want to see what else is out there.
I get lost in YouTube often. Like the best thing about the smart TV is having the YouTube app built into it, and I can just sit there and I can skip by Netflix and go to YouTube, and I just end up going down a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
Like my girlfriend works early in the morning, and she'll go to bed early, so I just put my headphones on. I'm watching music documentaries and just like, and I don't like back out. I just follow trails. I'll just end up like, you know, I'll watch a documentary on freaking GBH one day, and it'll take me down through Cockney Rejects, and next thing you know, I'm you know, full circle back to like Prodigy, because all of those bands influenced, you know, all the way along. So it's just really, really cool to do that.
That sounds like a great breakfast to me, you know, GBH for breakfast. But it's true, you know, it's the sort of thing where, again, you know, and I'm going to date myself, but, you know, I was born in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s. And at one point, you know, I didn't have cable, so I had access to maybe 5 television stations at a time, you know, and that's all there was, you know, and now there's a world of entertainment available to everybody. And, you know, it's the sort of thing where you can fall down that rabbit hole. And a lot of these algorithms are there to say, well, you liked this, what about this, you know? And it's, the internet's never been more ripe for the fishing creatively. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally.
Definitely.
You know, I'm really excited to see what happens. I really, really am. And I'm just so, every week that I talk to each creative entertainer, entrepreneur, the amount of problem solving and adaptability that I'm experiencing from each person is just mind blowing. You know, it's so inspiring to see that every single person is not keeping this lying down, as it were. We're just finding different ways to make our own stage. You know, it didn't go, it just changed.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and I'm so excited for you guys. I'm dying to hear your new album. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I've got goosebumps again. I can't wait.
There's a couple of tracks that we released on our Bandcamp from the new album.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, go back to theelectricdead.com to find the Bandcamp and listen to them. I'm going to be doing that for sure.
She's My Witch is one of them, and Tonight We Call the Dead is the other one.
Okay, I'm going to be listening to those. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
The version of Tonight We Call the Dead is actually, we recorded that in London at the Music Farm. And so that one's, we re-recorded it for the record because we wanted everything to kind of sound uniform. So that's just like a special one-off release. Ryan did an awesome job with the recording and mixing of that at the Music Farm in London.
Yeah, that was a cool experience.
Amazing. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I mean, this is basically my digital equivalent of going to the record store and looking for the vinyl and just pulling it out, you know?
Yeah.
I remember doing that. Oh, it's the best. Listen, guys, I'm so happy to have had you on tonight. I know I would love to keep talking with you, but I have to kind of keep it a little short and sweet tonight because I'm actually hopping off of this train onto another train for 9 p.m. And I encourage you guys to watch. It's going to be a really, really great show. It is a really great show called The G-Spot, which will be on Carney Show, actually, on Twitch TV. They're doing a new time slot this week. It's going to be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so 9 p.m. our time. And I encourage you guys to watch because, again, teamwork makes the dream work, and I want my community that I'm in and everyone else's community to expand. Jeff Peterson is an amazing host, and I'm so happy to be his guest tonight. So I want to make sure that, you all kind of get a chance to see what's going on. And I encourage Kisho and Dickie to watch as well, because I think, he's a really fantastic person to know as well. And, you can't go wrong with live television because you never know what's going to happen. Before I forget, guys, if you like what you're watching, feel free to send me a little love at paypal.me/Lizzdom, because you know what? the internet costs money and it helps me to create great content for you guys. I'm actually saving up to get a new computer and a new webcam to make better television for you guys. I want to start editing my own videos. I do the Peter Rabbit at the beginning, but I have plans for more. So definitely any love you can send my way, I greatly appreciate. I always do a thank you at the end. And the credits, there's a couple of Easter eggs that I think you should probably watch out for. That's just my little pitch.
Awesome.
Kisho, Dickie, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. You're amazing. I look forward to what you're doing in the future. Don't be strangers. I will send you all the information, and I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on. And I wish you guys an amazing Easter weekend.
You too. And don't forget to send me your postal address so I can send you a CD.
I promise I will. Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Be well, and I'll see you soon.
Take care.
Later.
Bye. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me this week. Again, Planet Lizzdom, it is always an exciting place to be. And I want to thank you all so much for taking part. I'm going to start putting together some more exciting contests as well. So, watch the credits. Maybe there'll be a question about them next week because, tune in, turn on, and take part because you never know who's going to land right here on Planet Lizzdom. I'll see you guys next week. Be well.